You've probably already seen a lot of photos and videos of these shoes already, but I gotta say, the Air Jordan 4 White Oreo is a really good sneaker. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another sneaker review on Sneaker Talk. We're doing daily uploads for the month of July, and today we have a review of the Air Jordan 4 White Oreo, aka Tech White, aka Tech Gray. There's a few names for these, but we're gonna call these the White Oreo for the remainder of the video, and I'll get into why that is later into the video. I've had these for a couple of days now. I actually bought these early to review, and then I got busy and wasn't able to get the video up in time, but I did upload 2 mall vlogs, so check out those videos if you missed it. I gotta say, my first impression of them was like, wow, the quality on this thing is great. The colorway, obviously this colorway is fire. This is definitely a shoe I could see myself wearing an absolute ton, especially in the summer months where white sneakers thrive. But in terms of quality of this shoe, the quality of the shoe is really solid. The leather quality they use on it, it's above average leather quality in my opinion. However, one thing you want to be concerned about for this shoe is apparently the quality control consistency hasn't been very good. This is of course a general release Air Jordan. There was a ton of pairs released of these, so hopefully you don't pay too much above resale or retail if you're trying to buy these on the resale market. But with the release being as big of a general release sneaker as it is, there's going to be some consistency issues when it comes to the quality control. So some pairs might have excess glue stains, some pairs might have the leather not be as nice, some pairs might have bad stitching. So if you are going to buy a pair, try your best to get photos of the shoe before you pull the trigger. Now, getting into the specs of the shoe, these were released on July 3rd, 2021. The retail price for these was $190 US or 285 Canadian. Ouch for my Canadians. What did I pay? Because I bought these early, right? So I bought these on StockX to review for you guys. I paid about 350 Canadian plus the shipping, plus the fees and stuff on StockX. So my grand total was 437 Canadian dollars buying these about 14 days early on StockX. And then they arrived like 2 days before the release day. Typically, I try not to buy like sneakers that early because you're going to be paying a premium to get them early. However, the resale prices for these have pretty much stabilized at that price point. So I didn't end up taking that bad of an L on this shoe by buying it early because the resale is pretty much what it was when I paid for it originally. Now we're going to get into my resale predictions for the shoe in a bit, but let's take a closer look at this shoe. This is not an OG colorway of the Air Jordan 4. However, it definitely kind of gives some OG vibes. It is obviously very, very close to the white cement Air Jordan 4. This shoe kind of takes inspiration from that, but it also takes inspiration from the Oreo Air Jordan 4, and that's where the Oreo name for the shoe comes from. So a couple of years ago when they did the whole remastered program for Jordan brand sneaker, for Jordan sneakers, because a lot of people were complaining about the quality, the Oreo 4s was one of the first pairs that they did. The quality on it was really nice. It was really solid, but there was a couple of things that they changed with that release, including the Jumpman. The Jumpman is not the typical Air Jordan 4 Jumpman, and then when it comes to the quality of the shoe, the quality was much better, especially compared to the releases a few months prior to those premium Jordan 4s. So these are pretty much the Air Jordan 4 Oreo, but all the parts that were black are now white. With that said, let's take a closer look at the details, starting off with this white leather upper. It has a very faint tumbling texture, a very faint tumble texture throughout the entire sneaker. It is a little more on the smoother side when you get around to the ankle area around here, but you do see more of the tumble pattern going around the toe box area and on the center, like on the side of the shoe right here. Now, because it is better quality in my opinion compared to other Air Jordans we've seen, this is more prone to creasing. So if you're scared of your shoes getting creases and stuff, definitely not the shoe for you. Jordan 4s tend to crease in ways that are not the most appealing. Like, I'd rather have a Jordan 1 be all creased up than a Jordan 4. A lot of Air Jordan 4s typically use like a nubuck or a durabuck material, so good to see that they went with leather on this particular pair. Next up, let's take a look at the side of the shoe, which has this like netting material. It's this all white mesh net, and it's on the toe box area as well and on the inside panels. Now at the moment it's like this nice shade of white. However, I feel like over the years, once the sun has enough time, you know, messing up with the shoe, it's eventually gonna fade to like a yellow tint, but we're only gonna find out as the years go by. Going down the center of the shoe, you have a white tongue with that red Jumpman embroidery embroidered in, and typically Air Jordan 4s don't have that Jumpman embroidered in, so that might be something that turns a few people off. It really reminds me of the Air Jordan 3, and that has the Jumpman also embroidered into it. But I actually have one of last year's Air Jordan 4 releases here. This was the red metallic pair, and as you can see, this is what the tongue typically is. It's like this patch which they stitch in, and it has like the word flight underneath the Jumpman right there. So this has the stitched embroidered option instead. These also do come with white flat laces and no extra laces. Besides that, let's take a look at the booty of the shoe, where you have that gray Jumpman just pushed into the very back leather panel, and then you also have this pull tab here on the very back as well. Taking a look at the midsole, you have this nice two-tone midsole. So the back panel of the shoe is this gray cement print, which is really nice, and then on the front half you have the white midsole, and then you have a little bump of cement on the very top of the mudguard right here with that leather overlay just on top. So really nice detail for the cement print. You also see that cement 2 more times on the shoe with the eyelets right here, and then you also have it on the front of the laces as well. One of my favorite things about the white Oreo Air Jordan 4 has to be the sock liner that they chose to use. So on my Air Jordan 3s, because it has a white sock liner, the area can get really dirty and you can stain it, and then you end up getting like the sock particle stuff pulled into it. It doesn't look very great once you wear them a ton. However, because these have a gray sock liner, like it's almost like a silver, it's kind of shiny sometimes depending on how the light hits it. Because it has this gray sock liner, it's going to hide that wear and tear, that grime, if you end up wearing these a lot, which is great. And it's going to keep the sneaker still looking fresh as you continue to beat them up. Also, another thing, there's a small little Air Jordan patch right here on the inside of the tongue. It's upside down, so there you go. Now it says Air Jordan, but if you look at it, it is like upside down when you look top down. Before we throw these on feet and talk about sizing and comfort, let's just talk about what it would change about the shoe and my resale predictions. So what I would change about the shoe, honestly nothing. I think they nailed it on this release. I would have liked it if they included a hang tag. I know some Jordan 4s do come with a square little hang tag, but yeah, this is a really well done shoe. If they could have made this maybe a little bit more limited, but by doing so they can keep the quality control and the consistency much better, like the quality checks would be better, I wouldn't mind these being a little bit more limited. But this is definitely a shoe that Jordan Brand knew would sell out right away, so they just made a ton of these and flooded the market. But in my my future resale predictions for this sneaker, I could see this shoe going for $100 above retail this time next year. But at the same time, another thing you really want to keep in mind is this was a big GR, and Jordan Brand is not afraid at all at restocking big GRs. They might have a warehouse full of these somewhere. They could just pump them out whenever they feel like. So if you want to sell them right now, you'll get a good amount of money right now if you resell them. But if you want to wait a bit, you're going to want to wait probably at least a year, because if they do end up restocking these, it will hurt the value for sure. The Jordan 4 is one of my favorite Jordans when it comes to comfort. They have an air unit in the midsole right here, and it feels really comfortable. It kind of reminds me of how an Air Max 90 feels on feet. I give these a solid 8 out of 10, 7.5 out of 10. Absolutely more comfortable than the Air Jordan 1, and I want to say very similar comfort level to the Air Jordan 3. And in terms of other sneakers you can buy that are very similar to this, I would look into the white cement Air Jordan 4s, the metallic Air Jordan 4s that were released in 4 different colorways last year. There's a lot of all white Air Jordans out there, and I think Jordan Brand did a fantastic job on the execution of this shoe. Also, I forgot to mention why people are calling these the Tech Gray or the Tech White Jordan 4, and that's because on the box label it actually says the color code is white, fire red, Tech Gray. So I've seen a lot of sneaker stores, like official stores like Foot Locker, call these the Tech Whites. Some people calling these the Tech Grays because that's the actual name on the box. And then there's people like me who call it the White Oreo. Comment down below what you guys think about the White Oreo 4 in the comments section. Is this a cop? Is this a drop? Did you buy a pair? Did you strike out on a pair? Are you doubling up on them because you know you're gonna mess up the first pair? I would love to hear what you guys say in the comments down below. And for links to these, I'll leave eBay links in the description down below. You guys will see these on my Instagram a whole bunch, which is @SneakerTalkCA, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.